Hi everyone, today I thought I would do a picture from this book. This is Enchanting Mandalas. It is mini pads of colour. So I did do a flip through of this book, and I think there are 3 books in the series. I'm not sure, I'm just checking the back. But I'm going to have a go at this one. There are quite a few different styles in the book. So I've done a few. So I did that one with pencils, never having done a black background picture. I realised it's a bit too pale. This one, I wanted to make it look like sparkly gems. Quite tricky to see. But I also, there's quite a few like this, which are so thin that I just use fine liners. But this one, we can use pencils. I thought I would show you. I'm turning it around just because it keeps flipping up, getting in the way of my tripod. I'm going to zoom in. We seem very wonky. I may zoom in a bit more in a minute, but we'll have a think. I'm going to be using my Black Widow Cobra set today just because they are very cool and I like them. No other reasoning than that. Now I'm looking at this picture and thinking flower. So what I'm going to do is sort of a yellow type centre and then a colourful outside. I thought I would do. I thought it'd be fun. So I'm going to get the a pale yellow. In this set there is what's called a gold. Let's put it a bit closer. We will zoom in. I knew I would eventually. And we're just going to concentrate on this centre area for a bit and then work out. And I'm going to use this gold to cover actually the whole of this area here. Now you can see it's quite pale. To me it looks like a cream, but we can build up those layers a little bit, but it's not really that gold, but that's fine. I know what I was getting when I picked this one because I want it to be the circles that stand out. I want them to look like little seed pods or stamen or something like that. Yeah, it's usually little circles with pollen on, isn't there, in the centre of sunflowers, so that's what I'm thinking. So I hope you're all well today. I have just been, it's actually afternoon here when I'm recording this. I had some lunch, I had my lunch and I got a bit carried away watching some curling. It's only the 7th of Feb, so I was watching some Winter Olympic curling while I was actually colouring and finishing a picture for the last video I recorded. So it was really chill and it was lovely, and unfortunately, what do we call ourselves? Team GB. I always want to think, well, we're the UK. I get a bit confused by our team name. Team GB in Northern Ireland. William didn't win, but we're going on to the bronze medal match, and if you've been following it, you'll know the result, and I don't yet. So there we go. It's just a quite nice creamy colour. I quite like it. And we are going to move on to a brighter colour. This is called mustard, and you get what it's called really. Now for the circles, I want to make them a little bit darker on the outside and lighter in the centre. It may not show up very well because they're quite small. I do want to try and put a little bit of yellow in the middle, just not so much. So lots of layers here, and then less towards the middle. Yeah, I was having a lovely chilled time colouring, and I was doing a bit of singing as well earlier. I do like to sing song. I used to be in a choir when I was at school, and then again when I was at university, so that was a lot of fun. I'm just checking. I thought I had a message and arrive. Gosh, social media is so distracting, isn't it? But I thought it was for my boy. So my boy is important. He's in a study session this afternoon at college, and just wanted to check because I did say to him, I'll be at home, drop me a message if you've forgotten a book or anything, you need me to send you something. I'm actually just working through my yellows in this tin. So the next one is called Nugget. Put it down so it's in focus. It's a bit more orangey. We're going to use that for this circle. Now if you're not using the Black Widows, you could just do that with yours. So choose three yellows and put the palest one here, then the next one, and then the next one. It's really quite straightforward. You don't have to use the same colours. You could use pen as well. The moment we're just blocking in colour, there's no shading. So, well, apart from a little bit on those circles, but as I say, it doesn't really show up. So you know, you could use a pen and block in, and pens are more vibrant, so you know, you might like that vibrant look. And this paper in this book is actually, the pen doesn't go through, not the pens I used anyway. I know pens differ, so you will need to be careful. I understand that alcohol-based pens go through, but I don't ever use those. As I think actually I might have some metallic markers that are alcohol-y. They smell a bit. I think alcohol pens might smell, but and they do go through the page, not completely, but they leave a weird. It's not even ghosting. I can't really describe it. But now we have a one orange, and then we move on to our yellows. But I'm thinking we're now, for me, at the centre of the sort of flower here. So I'm thinking I want to do some pinks and purples for this bit. Is what I decided on. And I might do these outside ones in greens to look like leaves. That was my thought. So I'm going to miss out oranges and reds and go on to pinks. We do have quite a few reds though. We have 2 pinks, 2 purples, blues. Yeah, let's do pinks, purples and blues. I'm just going to run through the tin really. So we have a bubblegum, which I know from experience is a very, very bright pink. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this one, and then one of these two, this one and one of these, so that can't do the whole thing. Well, I could, but it would take a long old time, and I don't want to run out of energy. So I'm going to keep layering here and reduce as I go to there. Yeah. So you can see that base is just a little bit darker. That's the effect I'm hoping for, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to run out of voice because I've got quite a lot of recording to do before the boys break up from college. They finish this time next week. And yes, I've left one and I'm using the same colour, and I'm going to fade up towards the top. Yeah, they finish and then they have 4 days of work experience, which they're both going to be here doing it. One of them has got a project to do for my husband's company, and the other one's got a project to do for me. Unfortunately, it's a really hard time to secure work experience, so we found them something which we think will help them. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So that's the bubblegum. I haven't been leaving my colours out. 1 minute, bear with me. I need to know what they are so that I can write them down for you in a moment. The next one I'm sharpening because it's blunt as a blunt thing on blunt day, as they would say. Might not be something you've heard. Fancy pink. I don't know where I first heard that phrase. It is a funny one, isn't it? But you use it for lots of things. Like as mad as a mad thing on mad day, or that sort of thing. So I should get my oh, I've got it back now, my brush for sweeping away bits. My husband pinched it off me the other day. He likes it. He was erasing something, he wanted to get rid of the bits. So I've used the same method here of going harder here. And this fancy pink is very similar to a bubblegum actually. Little bit paler, I would say. Little bit. But there we go. That's okay. Okay, we're going to move on though to Tulip. Okay, we're going to use the Tulip for this bit here. And I'm going to do a harder layer here, less towards the tip. So I want a pale tip, a darker base like that. It's quite a pale colour again, so it's tricky to see, but hopefully you can see that. And I'm also going to use the Tulip on this arch. So again, I'm going to get paler towards the middle. Oh, I feel like singing again. I mustn't sing while I'm on air though. On air, I'm not on the radio while I'm recording, because I can't afford to pay the copyright on the song. So we have a purple haze, which I'm going to do for this bit. Not sure whether to just fill it in or try a bit of shading. I'm actually going to put it a little bit darker at the base and just see. I think it's quite a pale purple, it might not even really notice much anyway. So maybe darker down there and across there, and then fade up towards the top. I'm trying to see, because the light's just shining off that bit of the page. Now I'm darkening that top bit too bit, aren't I? Let's put another layer down there. It's a bit scruffy. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do. Yeah, that's okay. Now, we've got one more purple, which maybe I should have used before. We've got blues. What should we do? The purple I really like, so actually it's two purples, so I think we're okay. We've got a grape, and we shall use our grape for this here, and we'll try to get a darker layer on the outside, so just keep going round and round, very meditative, and then as you bring it in, do less layers, and then less, and then less, so it's quite pale in the middle. You can always go back round and add a few more layers until you're happy. Okay, and then we're going to do the outside with a harder layer here and fade up to the tip like we have been with the others. I think it's nice to match it all in, make it look similar. And the joy with this fairly simple design is that it won't take you long to complete it, and it will just be fun and lovely. But what I would do is I would do all of these, all of those in one go, and then swap colour and do all of that colour in one go. Makes it a little bit quicker, and you can also go round and round and round, which I think is all part of the meditative feel to the mandalas. Mandalas? This one's called Space. I think it's a dark purple. It might be blue. I'm trying to remember. We're going to find out. We're going to put quite a few layers down at the bottom here, and then reduce them as we go up towards the tip of this shape. I don't really know what to call this shape. I don't think it's got a name. My children might know. They know about shapes. They're doing A-level maths. They tend to do a lot of triangles, I think. Sort of trigonometry and things like that. Although I gather it isn't, trigonometry isn't just triangles. I'm sure it was when I did it, but I did it at a much easier level to them. I used to like Pythagoras' theorem. It was fun. Trig wasn't really my my thing. I like statistics though. They're doing a bit of that. It's quite fun. That's what I had to study when I was doing psychology. So I know a little bit, but they still think they know a lot more than me. You know, they're teenagers after all. Of course, they know more than me. There we go. It's not really faded very well, is it? We've got a sort of line. Take that up a little bit. That's a bit better. Yeah, you could use a blender to smooth that out. It's easier to get it smooth when I'm looking at it at a funny angle, which I am. Right, greens. As I said, I was going to do this to look a bit like a leaf, so I shall show you. We have a few greens here. We have Opal, Cobra, Venom and Forest. The opal is very nice, and I think I'm going to use that for just checking how dark it is. I think I'll use it for this bit because it's darker. So sorry, this is the opal green. I'm just going to do that higher one up, but never mind, I'm doing this one now. Look at that colour, it's amazing. And it goes really nicely with the purple, I think. Sorry, can you see? You just about can. Well, that angle wasn't a good plan, was it? I leant too hard at a funny angle. Pencils don't like being used at strange angles. I'm just trying to keep it in shot. Oh, my nice pencil. Actually, my other set of Black Widows, which is the spider set, are so overused. They're almost, some of them are really titchy. Just wanting to come to a nice point. It's a bit ragged, but I'm going to leave it like that. Just because you don't want to wait 3 hours for me to sharpen a pencil, I'm going to go a little bit more gently. And I want it quite light up here anyway. We can just build up the layers until we feel like it's right. We don't want a sudden end. There we go. And now I am thinking about whether to use Venom or Forest. I think I'm going to use Venom. It's a slightly lighter green, but I think it will work. So it's called, there is Venom. And for these ones, I'm going to try and do a little bit more there and less towards the tip of each. Trying to spread that evenly. I've got a bit of a line. And darker down here. And lighter as we go towards the edge. You can always do a light layer first, like I'm doing now, and then just bring this back up with another layer until you think it looks right. Now that is almost the end. I'm just going to zoom out to show you. Oh, it's not going very fast. We have got this little border. So we've got a line around and then this pattern. Now sometimes I colour in the loops, but what I'm going to do is just colour this line. I'm going to leave this outside bit white and just colour this line around. And I'm not sure which colour yet. I think I might do it a pink because we're not going to have that much pink. It's just going to be this little inner layer. So I think I'm going to do one of the two pinks. They're quite similar. I'll probably do the Bubblegum because it's a little bit darker. And do it in that line around there, and it hopefully just make the pink stand out and make it look a bit less dark with all this purple and dark green that's going to be going along there. So I'm going to finish that and take a photo for you of the finished thing, and when I'm done, so you can have a looky and see what you think. So yes, it's a fun little book, and it's quite small. It's just shorter than my pencil, and you know, there's still scope to do fun things, messing around with different colours and things like that, which I think is good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to come out when I'm done, but I'm going to have to finish so I can go and find out. So thank you so